Gary'sApps.com is the destination for apps that helps gig workers be safer, more focused, and more proficient. The Maximo app, which is spelled Maxymo, it helps Uber, Lyft, and Grubhub drivers by automatically switching between apps and turning them on or off as needed. For example, if a driver accepts an Uber trip, Maximo will turn off all the other apps that are online, and when the trip is completed, it'll turn the apps back on for the driver. It will also auto-accept or decline offers based on the driver's personal preferences that they set directly in Maximo. Then they have the Driver's Utility Helper app, also known as Duh, which is similar to Maximo, but is only for Doordash drivers. It as well can help by automatically accepting or declining offers, in addition to showing drivers on-screen information such as the per-mile rate and how long until the delivery is due, which will allow the driver to make a decision quicker when the request comes in. The last app is Flex Alert for Amazon Flex drivers. It takes the hassle out of tapping the screen for hours on end, which can be exhausting, by automatically tapping the refresh button for the driver and then alerting them when a new block appears. This way they can focus on a more important task, driving. Find out more at Garyz Apps, Garys apps.com for more information and download the apps you need today.
What's up, everybody? Did it work?
No,
What do you mean, no?
it's not there.
Like, we made it work with Holly's. How are you not making it work?
I can't make something that's not there work.
Hey, everybody, what's up? We're just trying to figure something out here. Good evening. What's up, Kim? What's up, John? How
Hi.
you guys doing?
Fantastic. How are you?
John's muted.
Still muted.
Still muted.
Okay.
There it is.
There we go.
There you are.
I'm trying to get my computer to run a little faster here. Bear with me.
What's up, Thomas? Hello, Christopher. Hi, Traveler. What's up, Gigan? What's up, Zach? BC, bro. BC, backcountry in British Columbia. Yes. Love it. What's up, Miko? Hi, everybody. And yeah, we're late and just kind of getting our stuff together. So I don't even know why we were waiting. For a minute, I thought we were waiting on Hannibal. And then Kim's like, no, he didn't. Didn't you see the email? He's not coming. I'm like, damn it. So, yeah, maybe we need to see if a couple people, and not to necessarily replace, but just a couple people would want to commit for a little bit. I got a person in mind, but I won't say it.
Ooh.
I'll text it to all you because it really should be between us. I'll text it to you guys, see what you think.
Well, now I'm intrigued.
But what's up, everybody here?
I know, right?
I actually got 2 names. And then we can have 10, so anytime they can join in. But
It could be a whole round table crew.
It could be like a round table and reserves. The round table reserves. How about that?
Where's Gary been? So Gary is in Florida now. Wait, let me show you something that happened with. Should I show him?
Share that?
Yeah, because first of all, I don't know where it came from, because what Gary sent clipped whoever it was, that sent it.
Oh,
okay. Guys, this came in a text from Gary to our group of people here on the round table, and it was a screenshot that I think it was from an email, but I jokingly say, well, I wrote it. He said, what was it? Here it is. Hi, Gary. So when you going to get your shiny face back on Rodeo? We're getting tired of having to look at Steve's mug and flapping jaws all the time. So last night, and I can't reveal any of the words, you guys, there are some omitted words here, but I texted Gary, and here's how it went. I said, so you think you could come make your blank not hurt for an hour tomorrow night? and join us or what? And he said, it's not about my blank. It is it is not having the stuff to stream as it is all packed up. So it would be like blank, and so I would have to be on my phone with a crappy way to stream. And then I said hashtag blank pain is real.
It's like playing, what is it, Mad Libs, where you're trying to insert.
I will
Yeah,
tell
Mad
you,
Libs.
obviously the word, except for the third occurrence there, guys, that the word is the same on the first, second, and fourth.
Fill in the blanks.
Right, make it any word you want.
Wheel of Fortune.
Hey, Spencer Ford, how are you?
But I did I texted Gary at the end of last week, I think it was. I said, are you alive?
Yeah.
And he said, yes, we're alive. And I think they were starting the next day their track to Florida. So they should be in Florida by now, because he said it was going to take 3 days. So
they are in Florida. See, here's where I'm a little confused. I know they have places to stay, but I don't think they have a house in place yet.
he said an Airbnb, I believe.
Right, but I mean, that's how up. I'm just trying to give people some perspective of how up and craziness his life has been. Like, he had 2 houses in Oklahoma. He's kind of getting rid of them while he was staying with his family, and now they're getting to Florida, and they just got rid of those houses. We all know how stressful moving can be, and he still doesn't have a house now here in the target city and place they are, and so.
Well, I said we all missed him.
Yeah. So I mean, he'll be back when he has a house or something. I mean, if they're gonna, I don't know how long
unpacked streaming equipment.
Right. I don't know how long they're gonna be at this Airbnb though either. I mean, I don't know if that's just till they find a house here real quick, or because I know they had friends they could stay with too, and I thought they were gonna. I mean, I don't know how quickly he's. Like, I would hope if I was him, but I wouldn't plan on I'll get to Florida and buy a house the next day. Like, this just takes a while to buy a house.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not an easy process to go through.
Right. But I mean, like, I know that when they were spending parts of the year apart, him and Donna, and they just did that because of weather, guys. It wasn't they didn't like each other. They love each other. But she was staying with a friend there who I think has offered them the same offer to be able to stay there.
Right.
So I don't know. I just don't know, but I do know that he's there now. He might get some equipment unpacked enough to do it, but he'll be back soon. But yeah, I mean, if just watch. We're gonna have some. We got to get some people, some faces in here, and then whenever Hannibal can drop in, he can drop in because he's got a lot going on too. Okay, so first let's just start with this because we started talking about it. So we talked about this last week, and also, would everybody please put in your market and whatever your entry level gas is right now? I'm just curious. I've been doing this as much as I can lately, trying to get
Mine's
other people's.
$4.99.
That's cheapest.
Oh.
I could have to see cheapest. That's what I see. That's what I see normally.
That's rough.
Costco might be a little bit cheaper. I imagine. Let me pull up the gas buddy.
Well, I'm in New Jersey and mine is $3.65.
So, like, I mean, and I'm not Costco or any of those that might save you money. People,
regular gas station.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like ours is. I think that's kind of probably where ours is, like $3.80. I think I saw $3.89 but we also have a lot of states don't. We have 85 gas. A lot of states start at 87. So that our lowest, we have 3 grades, and the lowest grade is 85, and that's like $3.89, and it goes up to and then it's like $4.29, $4.49.
It did come down
the gas buddy.
Week.
What's that?
Mine is $4.55 at one place. $4.80-ish is the usual.
So here is Sergio. First of all, Sergio, or the rideshare guy, put out a couple community posts of it being $5.99. This is yesterday, an hour before I did last mile This I saw. I took it as a screenshot from a video on YouTube because it was LA news. This is LA yesterday.
Oof.
They want them to buy the electric. Yeah.
Look at that. Like Supreme without like just for debit cash, not getting a car wash, $7.09 a gallon.
Oof.
I mean, and that's not like one of these hidden little towns like San Luis Obispo or something that's up in the hills where sometimes they get up to like 10 and they use that one little spot. This is LA. That's
Ouch.
LA. I don't know. I think it's crazy. I think
That's
it's
insane.
I think it's absolutely crazy, you guys. Let's see. Smack that like, you guys. So please.
$8 in Beverly Hills.
And thank you, Zach, for the chat. What's up, Rodney? Hey, how are you doing? I'm a little off my game, so it's been a week for sure. Hey, so the story that we talked about last week about it was TikTokers, but they were kind of following that. What I can't remember. I always forget the name of what the trend is. Thank you, Cray Cray. What is it? Kia Boys. Okay, so
Boys.
yeah, that trend of like being a complete moron idiot and moving cars around parking lots because that's awesome, and shooting it live on TikTok until somebody takes a wrench to your face. To me, I don't know. That's what I feel like they're doing. I feel like they're not doing this as just another TikTok trick. I feel like they know that they're waiting for that absolutely awful outcome where somebody like just goes off on them and destroys their face, and then their buddy catches it on film. I feel like it's that kind of adrenaline type thing because literally, like I heard Kim saying, it's not grand theft, and that's, yeah, I wouldn't be that mad. But then backstage tonight, she was saying, but I wouldn't do that, so I can't really say. And I was like, I'm thinking, dude, even if like you got out and you're like, it was just a joke, I'd mace you, I'd taser you. I'd let the police come and let them decide how they want to handle it. But
so wait, are they confronting the people
I
after
would
they
definitely
move the car?
mace you and then take your camera that you're TikToking with and videotape you crying. That I would do. John, I mean, I don't know. How would you be like, that's not funny, boys? Or would you be like, dude, hella pissed?
I mean, I doubt that this would even happen to me, but if it did, I mean, I don't know how to react in the moment, to be honest. I probably wouldn't. I don't know how to react in the moment. I don't think I'd get super pissed, but like I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know.
But how can you not blame yourself? Like you're the dumb person.
I guess
who
maybe
left
I'm the same
keys
as
in
I feel the
ignition.
same as you, Kim, but I'm on the other side.
Now they're hot wiring these cars.
I'm thinking I would never ever do that. Never. Like that's not a thing with me. So maybe I can't really understand it. To me, it just sounds like, dude, no, that's not a game, that's stealing.
I mean, technically it is.
I mean, because, what if somebody was stealing your car and they saw you coming out and they're like, oh, I'm just doing the TikTok trend. And they're like,
actually, the smart thing would just be to call the police and be like, yeah, just let me get the video of you videoing me and you did it. You have all the evidence I need. Like, just call the police.
Yeah,
that'd be the easy thing to do.
I think if everybody's
then
like,
if they would have started
you
something,
boys or you girls, and just kind of like, you got to stop that. I think that it's just gonna keep going. Like, end this.
Well, I think the first reaction, if I walked out and my car was in there, I'd be like, 911, my car's stolen, before I even had a reaction. So the cops would probably be already on their way before I even knew I was even in a prank because my car's not there. So I don't know. I just can't put myself in that position.
The cops would be there first.
Yeah. I just know this would not happen to me because I take my keys everywhere. So it wouldn't happen to me.
Yeah, see, that's I feel the same, but at the same time, like I know it wouldn't happen to me, but I know I'm like, but that's I don't care. I don't see it another way. It's stealing.
But how do you not hold yourself accountable for leaving the keys in the ignition and leave your car?
So technically, I know this from my cousin. He used to be a cop, but if you leave the door unlocked and it's like a crime of opportunity, it's technically not stealing or something like that. There's something about it. I don't know if it's not technically not stealing, but there's some way that people get off.
Wait, If you accidentally leave your car running
How do you
and the
accidentally
door
not Grand
cracked,
Theft.
it's
It's
just
not like
it's just 90%, like the what is it, like owner, or like having it is 9/10 of the law, possession. It's just
I
like,
mean,
well,
if
it's
you
my
take it
car
to a
now.
chop shop,
I
no,
feel
I
like
mean,
we
if you take
need
it
to
to a
do
chop shop is one thing, but like if you're asking the police to be like, I'm gonna write a report and I'm gonna prosecute this guy for moving this 2 parking spaces. You left your keys in the car? Yes. Left your car running? Yes. Police can be like, you're dumb.
I feel like we
The
need to
police can
do
be like,
more research on the law of this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's weird. Um,
especially in 2023.
so this is from the street about. Here's the article title. I want to read you one little segment that I pulled from it. It's actually a quote, and I want you guys to I want to see if you guys get triggered by the same piece I did. So, the title of the article: Uber Eats announces industry first change its customers will love. So then this is about 2/3 the way down. And here's the quote. Uber Eats will accept, or I'm taking it word for word out of the article, so part of it might be okay. So Uber Eats will accept SNAP EBT benefits on its app, according to a company statement. Further, Uber Eats is working with managed Medicaid and Medicare Advantage to allow customers to use their healthcare benefits to help cover the cost of a food delivery.
Is it grocery delivery or food delivery?
Both. But uh, I don't know, maybe you didn't catch it the way I did. I felt like, man, you should not be able to pull Uber fees out of their healthcare benefits, because that seems like, to me, it felt like it's hiding it. Like, don't worry,
How
your
would that even
healthcare's
work?
got you. I
What,
don't know.
John?
I mean, we all know that some older people, if they don't have some family around to help them with those type of, like, dude, don't do that. It's some kind of scam.
Yeah, how would that
Like,
work?
I don't know. I feel like maybe they're gonna get some. I don't know. It's nationwide though, and it's gonna be launched on Eats. It's big. It's a big competitor with Instacart right now, to be honest, because of the Snap.
Well, Instacart does Snap and EBT, so does Walmart Spark.
But
So
a Spark,
I
yeah, Walmart.
I
Everybody
guess if
does it,
they
I feel
need
like.
I feel like they need to stay competitive if they want to stay in the grocery game. If the other two major people, I'm not so sure about Shipt. Christopher, if he's here, he might not. He might know
Well, I
more
mean, it's
about
buying
Shipt.
food. I feel like they have to be able to let them. They can't stop them from buying food on the EBT card.
Wait,
You
hold
know,
on. I gotta
I'm
read
kind
this.
of
Thank you thank you for the super chat, but I gotta read this. So if someone moves someone's car owner shoots them, I'd say it's their fault. Because I mean, I guess I'd have to watch the video, or like be a fly on the wall type thing though, because I got to see it play out. Because in my book, again, it's the best way to be a car thief is just to go and wait for it in one of these parking lots, wait for a dasher to go in, steal it. If it doesn't feel like a clean steal, just stop and go, oh, just TikTok trick. But if you do feel like it's a clean getaway, you got it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's encouraging stealing to not do something about this. Is it not? I don't know. I do know that what Christopher's saying is right. I mean, there's a lot of people who will shoot you for taking their car.
They will. What I found, and I don't know if you read this in the
So
same news article, but what I found interesting in New York, this new Kia Boys trend accounts for a 19% increase in auto theft this year. So that's
yeah.
how much
Oh
of a
wow.
trend it is.
So that's I mean, I guess if nothing else, can't we all agree on that part of it? I mean, like, it's not good because it is encouraging stealing.
Oh, it's not good at all.
Right. But
No,
I
I don't
mean,
think it's good at all. No.
but it shouldn't just be, oh, you boys. Like, there needs to be something more substantial than just it keeps happening being on TikTok. Like, it's
I
not
think it's
funny.
more of
I
a
guess
sign
I'm
of the,
saying,
I
like,
think
it's
it's more
not
a
funny
sign of the
anymore.
times.
You know?
Yeah, I think it's a sign of the times. Like that's just how I think it's more of a case of that's just how rampant stealing is nowadays, that people can literally videotape themselves stealing and nobody's gonna do anything about it. I think that's more the bigger picture nowadays.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah. I mean, so I wanted to tell you guys this too. I'm gonna talk about this self-driving car article because there's an engineer who explains why, in his opinion, why safe full driving cars can't ever happen. Ever.
This
This guy's
article's
been
right up your alley.
I know. So check this out. So first of all, though, in John's neck of the woods, somebody broke the code and shot a video of an Uber autonomous. I don't know. I went to the video, the comments didn't say, and I was really surprised because in the article that I found the video in, it wasn't Daily Dot. It was like from a news station, but it said that she was mistaken that it was a Waymo, and you guys are going to see in the video that there's a Waymo interface. But when I took Uber Autonomous in Vegas, even though it had an engineer and a second guy up front, it also had a Waymo interface. So I think that they might be confused because she's like, "Oh, my Uber showed up." Because I guess my question before I started, John, would be like, "Can't you? I mean, maybe now you can, but wouldn't she? You'll see this girl. She lives in an apartment. I think she's going to work or something, but." Wouldn't she not have the Waymo app?
So I believe
you're gonna see she's not
Waymo
like
is a
she's not
separate
big
app
tech
than
or
from
anything.
Uber,
So I think she's right. I think the article saw the Waymo thing and said no, it was a Waymo. I think it's an Uber with the Waymo. So here is how they work, and here is her take on it.
Yo, this is a driverless Uber. It's coming to pick me up, dude. There it is. Oh my goodness, I'm getting it. Oh, dude, I can't. Where are you going? Oh my gosh, this driverless Uber just came to my apartment to pick me up. Dude, I can't do it. I gotta call Mama. Okay, so I unlocked the door with my phone. Oh my god, okay. This is lit, dude. Like, dude, I'm so bougie. Look at this. Hey, Brittany, good afternoon. Okay, so I just clicked start ride. It's gonna take me to the airport.
Hello, from Waymo.
It just locked. Oh my, no. Oh, y'all chill out, dude. It's driving. What? Oh, in the name of Jesus, I just anoint this. Jesus, literally take the wheel, Lord. Take the wheel. Jesus. In the name of Jesus. Yo, how does this thing...
All the driving. So please don't touch the steering wheel or pedals.
This is the future. I'm calling my dad. Oh, I gotta put my seatbelt on. Of course!
Connected to rider support. This call may...
Okay, so it doesn't take freeways, so yeah, it's pretty slow. I wish this thing went on the freeway, but it doesn't. So it's okay. Lord Jesus is gonna get me to this airport on time in Jesus' name.
I would only take this thing if I have all day. Like, yeah, I literally live so close to the airport. But this thing, it doesn't go on freeways, so I just got stuck behind a train. And it literally goes the speed limit. Like, I'm alive, guys. I made it to the airport. Hallelujah.
So you saw her excitement level, and you saw her going, Jesus, what is this route, dude? Like,
the fact that
But
it
don't
doesn't
they
hit the
have
highway is kind of crazy.
cameras? Don't they have cameras in the Waymo that would actually catch her recording the whole entire thing?
yeah, I
Well,
don't. I mean,
they
I
probably
might,
record it, but they don't watch the footage, I'm sure,
well, you're not supposed to
You're
record
not
it,
supposed to.
but
But I mean, yeah, but
there's
you
people
have
having
somebody
sex in
watching.
them in the back of San Francisco cruises, so
True.
pretty sure
so
the
nobody's
rules
watching
went
that
out the
footage.
window. I
I
think
like
they
how
were
she
just
called
like,
it. I like at the beginning she called it like bougie, and at the end she's just like, just get me to the airport.
right? Because it
It takes
can't go on
forever
the
to
highway.
get there.
So here, let me get to this. This is the article from the street. So engineer whistleblower explains why safe full driving can't ever happen. Now, so the technology remains heavily flawed. Last week, there are a number of vulnerabilities in the artificial intelligence models that power self-driving cars, not the least of which involves a lack of standardized testing platforms across the industry to ensure independently verified safe models. Dude, that's a big comment, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. But here's where the real problem comes in. So it says safe human level self-driving, however, isn't somewhere up around the bend, according to the Navy veteran and engineer Michael DeCourt. The costs, he says, in human lives, time, and money are too high for true self-driving to ever be achieved. The issue for DeCourt, okay, so he's an engineer. He's the engineer who exposed Lockheed Martin's subpar safety practices in 2006. I mean, it was him specifically. Is that so the issue for him is that the artificial intelligence, an AI with human level intelligence and reasoning capabilities does not exist. So the AI that makes self-driving cars work learns through extensive pattern recognition. Human drivers, he said, are scanning the environment at all times. When they see something, whether it be a group of people about to cross an intersection or a deer at the side of the road, they react without needing to understand the details or a potential threat, color, for example, or things of that nature. The system has to experience something to learn it. The problem with these systems is they work from the pixels out. They have to hyper classify. And so he's basically saying, because one, you have to stumble on all the variations of what could happen for the car to learn it. So it almost becomes like, hey, what grade is your autonomous car? Oh, he's an 8th grader. You know, like, has it been through one of these? Or, oh, did it have to stop at a 4-way intersection because the lights went down? Like, they've all only learned different things, and there's no standardized testing to say, yes, this is the criteria for them to be out on the street. I think that's one of the best arguments I've ever heard, because that should exist. There should be like a level testing, not only like, yeah, run them over in these spaces on these roads. There should be a level of, okay, can it pass this standardized test?
But I guess let me ask this question. How is that different than the normal 17-year-old first getting their driver's license?
See, I think that part of what I've said before is that, I mean, I don't think it can never work, but I think it's an all or nothing thing. I think it's got to be all AI or all not. Because, I mean, then you got to factor in the 17-year-old and the AI that only has a year of experience. Like, this article goes on to say, like, how some of these cars have 15 years experience, so they run better. So you're saying as they get older and are going to die, that's when they work their best? And they can't be cloned, by the way, either. Each car needs to learn on its own.
So I think that goes to the question of how they manage the actual AI. Is it individual modules in each car? Because that would be the way to change it. It'd have to be like a centralized AI, like a hive mind, that everything that's like always calculating across.
So
Now we
it's
know like the
it's
internet
the
AI is
4
there, but
same components that they all work under. So, like, it's the LiDAR, the radar, the mapping, and the communication. And so where did I see it? The normal manual are all controlled by one central processor. So the LiDAR, for instance, is laser lights that goes off all the time in different weathers, different things. So my car would learn different things than your car, John, and at a different rate too.
right. But that's what I'm saying. That's why they'd have to change it to something that's centralized, where instead of it looking at like what the cars learn, it's looking at what a database, what information is in a larger database that all the cars has learned. That's
Right.
it has to be, the cloud based essentially.
I mean, it's almost like there needs to be a school, though. Did your
A
car go
school
to
for
autonomous
AI?
school?
Like a car
No,
for
but
AI?
just that it plays well with others. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
even the other autonomouses, because they don't share their notes. So the way that they program these are completely different. So that's kind of what I was saying about this centralized thing. They don't have it's not like a common language.
Hmm.
They're talking to each other. Yes, they're using the same equipment, different brands and whatnot, but it's communicating with each other differently. Because if every one of them was the same, there wouldn't be all these companies. I mean, if it was exactly the same.
I'm
So I don't
surprised
know.
that
I
the
mean,
government hasn't like made them be all the same.
you know, I mean, and I see that Mr. D mentioned Tesla. There was more about Tesla at the bottom. Tesla was the one that was given a little accolades, but let me see, because it was,
Yeah,
I found it
central brain
interesting.
would have to be would be the only way to make
So
it work.
here's what it says about Tesla. I found this interesting. Tesla's beta version of FSD, full self-driving, according to Elon Musk, has covered some 300 million miles. The company would have to scale up mileage by 100 to 1,000 times to create a system that is as good as humans, according to Rand's calculations. And that's not the person. Rand is the calculation meter that is being used here throughout. Like a 2018 study by Rand found that self-driving cars seem to improve. It gets harder to analyze their performance accurately because of the rarity of certain edge cases. Again, meaning, has it ever encountered one of these? Or but so basically, would have to go up 100 to 1,000 times to create what the human is. Still, as Musk himself inadvertently demonstrated in a recent demo, drivers can't yet take a nap while their Tesla takes them somewhere. Humans need to be ready to take control at a moment's notice. And Tesla is also facing a series of 5 investigations into the safety of FSD software too. So, I mean, I like Elon. I mean, I'm all for Teslas. Good, bang them out. Let's do it. But I mean, you know, it's again. I think people are starting to jump the gun a little bit again. I've said this a bunch of times with autonomous, but I feel like they're starting to get really excited, like it's around the corner, and it's not. Again,
I just think I think it's going to come. I think it's the way of the future, but it's a ways away. I think they're my personal opinion, they just did it too quickly without working out any of the kinks. I feel like they just pushed it out without understanding what actually the technology does.
yeah. Well, I mean, isn't it like in a few months that we're gonna have flying cars too? I mean, remember that evil guy from that evil movie who put on that speech about his flying car? But yeah, I don't know. I found that interesting. That article, excuse me, guys, been hacking. And then Instacart IPO'd this week. Went up the first day, went back to, and then closed about $3 above where it launched, was $30 so the share. Got up to like 42, went back down, and then I think it's down a little bit today too. But it's the first one that we'll see by the end of the week, I guess tomorrow. But it's the first one. If you guys remember, Uber and Lyft, boom, they were at half their value first day. I mean, it was like just craziness. So at least like their 39 billion valuation that turned into 8 to 10 or whatever it was. I mean, that's probably, you know, it's more right. So but again, I don't really know. I'm starting to be concerned with, you know, I guess why they did. I think why they did is, I mean, there's also some articles out about like, you know, how dare they when they just cut drivers pay in half. It's not like some of these other apps where Instacart has some other plan in mind either, as far as I can tell. They don't have like, you know, like Walmart has plans where they, you know, they're like, we don't need people in about a few months. So, you know,
I don't think I think well, that's another story for another day. I have my own opinion on that.
I mean, they are spending the most out of all of those companies on robotics and robotic learning. And that says a lot. I mean, they are really, when it is able, they are going to go, bye. Bye, people.
I mean, robot, they have the most 90% of America lives within 10 miles of Walmart.
Yeah.
They got the biggest footprint in America.
Yeah.
Well, they
Well, I
have the
know they
backing
want
to
those
do it.
stocking. They want those stocking ones to go. They want the, I don't know.
They're testing those out, right? In some markets, the bots that actually stock the orders,
They
right?
got, I want to say there's probably 10, 11 markets are in now. Yeah. They're growing little, I say little by little, but, relatively little by little. It's like, I think it's like 10, 12 stores this year, then another similar amount next year.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I don't know if you guys well, I won't even get in. I won't do that one. I don't know. It's too well, it's because we just covered it on the Para just dropped today. And we had Sergio on for it too. So we fully covered it, so I would say go watch it. There's some things you all need to know. We talked about and it's not bad. We're not just dissing on it. We actually dissected it for you guys into 3 pieces. So Sergio, David, and I explained what 22 is, who's bearing the weight of it, who's paying for it, who's receiving it, and where are the extra billions going. So it's not just about why is nobody seeing this and we hate Prop 22. It's not what it is. We're concerned about where the money is going, because if you guys aren't aware, Prop 22 was never solidified in their proposal that the companies would be paying it. It was just assumed. And it was also supposed to benefit rideshare drivers. No rideshare driver benefits from it because they make that much in an active hour. Only the delivery people do. But they did Prop 22, even though they voted on it after. They did Prop 22 went into effect in January 2020. They had no idea the delivery platforms were going to take off in 3 months. So there's this whole thing about where you have to work 15 hours or you have to work 25 hours for an entire quarter to get that weekly Prop 22 money. And we know that 85% of the gig economy doesn't work more than 7 hours. So here's the thing. It was assumed that the gig economy companies would be paying for Prop 22 the way it just kind of felt. And I'm so surprised by all this. It's like the constitutional challenge. It's like there's 200 lawyers on either side and you guys didn't even realize this might be an issue. Come on. It's like these simple things where I'm like, really? But so basically now they, with the Prop 22, the customer pays $1 to $1.50 on every order, whether it be food or whatnot, and it's line itemed for them on their receipt. But so the company is taking in $1 to $1.50 per transaction. Sergio did it, and he said, there was 3 million transactions in this amount of time, and that would be this many $1 billion. And then we did how much had been paid out in Prop 22, and it was 9% of what they took in from the customers.
Wow.
So
Where's
here's the question: where's the money?
I'm gonna say, where's the money going?
Yeah. So Sergio filed a SCIO to try, because you can request to know where your state's money is moving things. But he hasn't got a reply yet, and nobody can answer it. Nobody. I took it to Kim Cavan, took it to Karen Anderson. Nobody knows.
So you really can't follow the money trail. Like you literally can't.
No, because they're taking it on they'd have to go through a full audit of all of California's drivers on every platform, pull every amount, and it's dynamic too. Of course it is. These apps love that. Because if it was a straight dollar on everyone, it'd be fairly easy. But it's like, oh, that one's 72. That one's 89. That one's $1.27. Why?
But do you think that these companies are banking on that? So like,
Yeah,
no one's going to go through all this trouble to find out where this is.
I do.
Because it's going to take forever for them to find out. In the meantime, we're just going to be we're going to be pocketing the profit.
Because here's something Sergio said that he was like, because what happened, Steven. So I said to him when we were recording, I said, I absolutely do. I said, more than 6 million people voted yes on Prop 22, in the bluest state in the country for a reason, because it wasn't that they wanted to vote alongside of Uber and DoorDash and these companies. It was because they said, listen, I don't want to lose my Uber rideshare or my DoorDash food. So I'm voting yes on Prop 22. And Sergio's like, right. Now, would they have voted yes if they knew they were going to have to pay $1 on every order? And I said, sadly, probably yes.
They will, because they're still going to pay for the
But my
convenience.
point is, it's wrong, because it's okay. It's one thing when they say processing fee and this, and even those need to be looked into. But this was a proposition to go to drivers, and only 9% of the money being taken in is going out to drivers because they're the only ones who qualify.
It's crazy.
There's requirements you have to meet to get Prop 22.
That's crazy.
I mean, again, the tiers are 15 hours and 25 hours a week, so it's not that high, but most people don't do that.
Well, also knowing Sergio, he's not going to stop until he gets the answers that he's looking for either. So it should be very interesting to see how far he gets.
And
with where the
also,
money
I don't
goes.
know if you know this, but remember when him and I'm trying to blank on the guy's name, found that little discrepancy
Mhm.
that wasn't so little?
It
I
was
can't
millions.
remember who. Right, but check this out. He said forever, what was it? Uber was doing a 75-cent Prop 22 charge. 2 weeks after that happened, it went to 79. And he said if you did the math, I can't remember exactly how it was, that 4 cents was exactly the difference they had to make up. So all they did was just
Wow.
pass on four, like, oh, that's 75 you pay for Prop 20, 79 now.
So they still got their money. They didn't have to come out of
Yeah.
pocket for it. So
Yeah. And they just
even
said,
though
we'll
people
just
got the
charge the
money.
customers more. Oh, you need that from us? We'll just, I mean, this is how,
I mean,
this is,
But
some of
that's
the
how we always
worst-
say it's going to happen. It's always going to be the customers that pay the difference.
But here's what he was saying. He was saying that every quarter, he's like, there's multi-billions of dollars missing from Prop 22 money. I don't know. I mean, guys, I really don't know what to say, because it totally makes sense. Because here's the thing. We know for a fact that, like, let's say John lived in San Diego and I lived in LA, and we both have our Prop 22. It's not like, well, in our market, only this many drivers qualify, so we lower the Prop 20. No, you're every customer, every order is getting a Prop 22 charge, and it's definitely not going out because only 9% of the drivers are able to claim.
So that's an interesting statistic, and I'm sure Sergio knows the statistic on it. So out of 9%, oh my God, that's a lot of money that they're pocketing if you really think about it.
Yes. Yeah, because all you have to do is take, like, even the DoorDash orders, the amount of DoorDash orders in a month in California, and it's at least $1 surcharge on Prop 22 and up to $1.75.
Wow.
That's on every one, but it's at least $1. So however many orders are done on DoorDash in California every month, that many dollars at minimum, probably upwards of 1.5 times that, but at least $1. So at least that number in real money, and only 9% of it's going out.
Yeah, that's
Again,
not on their profits.
whenever it's something's this easy to spot, I always question, like, dude, how is this? What? Like, why are people not going, yo, where's the money, man? Like,
How is it legal?
Yeah.
I don't, I mean, DoorDash has been caught multiple times stealing. Uber's been kicked out of countries. It probably isn't legal. And I'm just being honest. I don't think we work, again, and I don't think I'm stepping out of line here to say I don't think we work for very ethical platforms.
You think?
I do. I just got to keep like Gary got me this for Christmas. I got to keep my moral compass in line. I can't do anything about the other ones,
You can't control this company. These companies are all trying to make a profit. I mean, it's unfortunate that it's going to be on the behalf of everybody that's trying to earn a living. The drivers, the restaurants, not to mention their own employees. So.
Yeah, but so they jack up the prices at the restaurants. They're like, you got to pay this Prop 22 money. And we all think, oh, the companies are having to pay that. That must really ding them. But then they're putting a line item charge on every order for it, and they're making money off it.
But
And
they're still not profitable somehow.
But the customers aren't going to be any wiser. Like, they don't pay attention. They just want their food
No, you could
delivered to their
they
house.
could probably double the Prop 22 number
They
on
probably
every
could.
one.
A customer would never even know. They just want their food when they want, and they want to get to their house. Like, they don't care how much they're paying
It
to
does
get it
it
there.
does say it. It does say Prop 22. There's a line item.
I know
But
that,
you're
but do
right.
customers really care?
Right. Yeah. I think you're right. That's what I was saying. Like when Sergio said, had they known when we went to vote for Prop 22 that the companies weren't paying for it, but the customers would be, he's like, maybe it would have been different. That's when I said, no, it wouldn't have. You could have told them you're going to be all charged $3 extra per ride per order. Do you still want to? And they still would have voted yes. Because they didn't want to lose Uber, Lyft, and all their food delivery apps.
The price people pay.
But yet it's considered a no. You know what? I was going to say something not appropriate, so I'm going to shut my mouth.
I guess only 9% of the drivers are making minimum wage. It was in the fine print of Prop 22. Wait, is that a joke or what was in the fine print? Because we've been through the Prop 22 thing. And nowhere did it say the excessive amounts we will collect, we will be banking on and keeping and only distributing to the drivers, whichever amount of poor. It definitely sounded like all this money will go to the drivers in every part of that. But yet, like, nobody ever did the math of what they were asking you for. 15 hours a week or 25 are the tiers. And if you don't do it, you don't get the Prop 22. And if you remember, we all of us and Gary and Hannibal, we remember talking about how people were working multiple platforms and scamming Prop 22.
Yeah.
But really doing that was making the companies more money.
It was.
Because every transaction you did, they were charging the customer.
Crazy.
I mean, I'm literally sick and blown away at the same time.
Wow.
And again, had there not been a pandemic, when this went into place and they knew that, had there not been a pandemic, this wouldn't have even hurt in any way because they don't pay any to the rideshare drivers. And delivery was dead. So the way they were looking at it, they didn't even think about delivery. You know? So now, like, because I was saying, if somebody's up in San Francisco, it's $19.88 minimum wage there. So you do the 120%, you're at $24 approximately. If you do two 250 DoorDashes in San Francisco in an hour, you're going to get $24. But even though the base pay was only $5 for the 2 orders, you're going to get a check from DoorDash for $19. Now you only did 2 deliveries and they only did 2 Prop 22 charges. But they're taking one on every rideshare driver too, and the rideshare drivers never see any. And there's more rideshare than there is food delivery in California.
Wow.
That's weird, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not only, I mean, it's just disgusting, but it's weird. Like we should be able to figure this out.
They have some explaining to do.
I mean, I get that algorithms can be sneaky, but we just presented something right now that this should be public record. It's a publicly traded company. It should be a public record.
This is beyond any algorithm that there is out there. This is kind
of this is tweaking a law, and a law that was made to give you a carve out to the utmost.
Wow. And
here they are, like, all these lawyers are focused on the constitutional challenge, and I'm like, shouldn't you be concerned where all these billions are going? Like, it's almost like Uber's glad to be over here. Like, yeah, we'll sit in Supreme Court with you about this constitutional challenge that'll never win. Just don't look over here.
I can tell you where it's not going.
Where?
In our pockets.
Oh, because I was going to say, and then there's the Washington state model that he likes. And then there's this, and I will just bring it up. We're here. Why not? This is the Massachusetts bill. and it won't bore you guys. I'll go through it quickly because it's not good regardless. So okay, I'll just run through the timeline really quickly here. So Massachusetts, 2 years ago, a ballot was put into place to permanently keep gig workers ICs permanently. For those not familiar with the process in Massachusetts, all states are different. Like some states use referendums. California's does propositions. Massachusetts does ballot questions, and these ballot questions come on at the voting and then become law. So in 2022, effectively, what they were trying to do was carbon copy Prop 22 exactly and fight what was going to be a ballot initiative for exactly an AB 5, which would kill normal independent contractors too. At the time, Maura Healey was the attorney general for the state. Maura Healey asked for that ballot vote that everybody wanted to vote. They wanted to vote on it in 22 and lock it down. Maura Healey, the attorney general at the time, removed the ballot from like a week before the vote, removed it from the questions. So now these voters who were like really wanting to vote on this, it wasn't even on there. And before the vote happened, it had to go to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has a special interest group share program. It's weird with some of Maura Healey's thing. So they let her pull that ballot. That's not usually done in that state. Fast forward to today, Healey is no longer the attorney general. She is the governor of Massachusetts.
Oh.
And she's pushing for a bill called H1099. It's 93 pages. It wants to kill all independent contractorship. It's AB 5. The gig companies, the Flex Association, they are doing they're challenging another ballot that's going to happen, and this one's bad as well. So there's two of these horrible ways. One's going after all ICs, and then you guys tell me about this one. This is another ballot question. The App-Based Drivers Classification Act. I mean, I don't know about you. I'll tell you, but it doesn't. I'll tell you about it, but it doesn't sound good already, right? That word classification should be very scary. But basically, let me pull up this is what, so like we saw it here. California saw it around Prop 22. Washington State did. We saw it when Stephanie Viho was doing her legislation, and now they've seen it from the apps in Boston. So I'll pull up the Doordash one because I think I have it right here. Yeah, I do. Okay. So they emailed us when when Stephanie was going to push that that bill. And so here's what they emailed all Dashers in the Boston and all of Massachusetts. Next fall, Massachusetts voters will have the opportunity to protect the flexibility and independence that Dashers love when it comes to app-based work. Special interests in Massachusetts say that Dashers like you should be employees, which means you lose your ability to work when, where, and how you want. We know you value having flexibility, no clocks to punch, and no boss to answer to except for yourself. This ballot initiative will both protect your independence, provide you with new benefits and protections. Okay, so let's look. Here's the 4 bullet points of what you're going to get. This is what Doordash is telling you need to, they're asking you to, they did it here too. Reply and say you agree with this. And then what they do is take your name and add it to their list of names. They really want you to agree to this. This is their offer, and it's not good. Protects your ability to work independently and flexibility. Okay. Guarantees that Dashers will earn at least $18 per hour on a delivery. But check this out. That's, first of all, it's active time. So we're talking, this is just like Prop 22 kind of thing, only it's just working. The whole state is 18 an hour. But here's the kicker. Plus 28 cents per mile on delivery with tips on top. That's a very tricky thing. My friend Dana and I dissected this. So 28 cents per mile on delivery. They can't touch the federal write-off of 65 cents. And every state is usually is exactly synced up. But by taking this, you are negating your state tax right to write off 65% or 65 cents. You can't write off your miles.
Well, that's not good.
So you
that's the
only
biggest
get paid
deduction
the
you get as a driver.
you only get paid the 28 cents after you get the delivery or get the passenger and take them to destination. Not even once you accept and drive to it. Just that, just the phase 3.
So you're losing
And now,
out
so
as a driver.
they want to pay 28 cents a mile on those miles. Now, again, for your federal taxes, you'll be able to claim 65. They can't touch that. But what they want to do is this, because here's the thing. They think that we're not trustworthy. They think a lot of people on their taxes are forging the crap out of miles. And I hate to say it. I think they might be right. I don't think this is a solution, but I do think a lot of people forge big time with their numbers. I'm just saying, but then, so that's a thing. And then gives you access to benefits like healthcare support and paid sick time. In Massachusetts, you work full time, all 4 quarters. The most you can bank is 3 sick days, period. So that's it. So that's worthless. Healthcare. I just learned how much like Canada it is. Massachusetts is the closest state with healthcare to Canada, how Canada is. 90% of people in Massachusetts have free healthcare. So you're getting like this little perk up from that. And then enhances safety protections and puts in place new insurance requirements to cover medical costs and disability payments if you're injured on the job. That's all it does. And for that, it becomes floor meets ceiling. So if you're making, and this is my friend Dana in Boston, who's been doing gig work since 2015 that I talked about this with. So if you're making 35 an hour and you know what 30 hours you like to work to make that happen, we saw this happen in New York. Now you'll be able to make 18, 19 at all times.
Wow.
Because if you're a 35 earner, you have to make up for the dashers who can only make 9 or 8. And again, I would bring up the Prop 22 money. We know that because they're not going to pay for it. They're going to make the good drivers give some of their money back to the drivers who can't cut it.
Wow. Crazy.
I mean, I don't know. To me, it's like you get rid of all the good people. You're going to go back to a high turnover thing.
But isn't that what they're doing kind of already, if you're really thinking about it?
So, not to like rain on anybody's parade, but next week we will be talking about 4 other states that are going to try and push this same stuff. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and New Hampshire. All have this lined up to go in about 2 weeks too. I mean, it's ridiculous. If you're going to tell me that, hey, and I know we're talking about DoorDash. I don't do a ton of DoorDash, but we can use this for the example. If you're going to tell me, hey, we're going to make sure you're paid 18 an hour. I'm not doing that. I don't care if I do get the flexibility because I already know what's going to happen. I'm going to be lucky to ever pull a $20 hour. So why am I going to do that?
You get to keep, but you get to keep the tips though, right?
Yeah, but okay. So let's say that you see another. Here's part of the problem too, though. Let's remember that some people in California maybe they don't notice it as Prop 22, but they notice that their delivery fees are through the roof, right? Some people have gotten very wise and realized that the company has to pay the delivery people, so they stopped tipping. Because they said, why would I? He makes $24 an hour, whether he does 1 or 2 deliveries. So they already think of it like DoorDash is tipping them now. Does that make sense? So they're like, I
Yeah.
don't need to tip. They're charging me more, and screw this.
See that?
So my point is, I mean, you're taking out the tipping culture. You're going to make that minimum amount. Look, they did it in New York years ago, but right before the pandemic, they did this with RiDESHARE. And I know people who were in New York who were easily making over $50 an hour when they worked. They could not make over like 30, 32 because it was that minimum $27.86 with expenses. So all the people who were making 11 got $27.86, and all the people I knew who hustled and crushed it were making 32, who were making 55. I mean, to me, it's all these things that we talk about would all be better solved if somebody just defined the damn gig economy.
Yeah.
Like into what we always talk about. I mean, maybe we're not using the exact right words here, but some kind of hybrid. Because it's not traditional IC work. It's not. But it is flexible time, and so it is somewhat of an IC thing. But the fact that every state's debating how to slam some laws down before there's even a definition as to what it is crazy to me. Like, why not just call it hybrid? Let's set some standards on it, then see where the cards fall. You know, I don't know. I feel like we're letting the states get ahead of the laws, and laws like these just won't work. We live in a free enterprise. You're taking that away from the companies, and I'm not standing up for Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash here, guys. But to be honest, it is a free country. And until you can prove they're breaking laws, we got to roll with it, because you gave them business's license. You take their kickbacks to your state. You take their free rides to voting. You take their free rides to home on New Year's Eve. Your city's in bed with them. So good luck. I mean, it's tough to pull the, hey, we got to follow the law card when they've been breaking the law to give you freebies for a long time. But I guess, you know, to me, this sounds awful. And I really wonder now too, why wouldn't Lyft and Uber want to go to every state and sell Prop 22? They make money off Prop 22.
Right.
I mean, I would be at every state going, dude, you need Prop 22.
Yeah.
Like,
Follow
we all
their
used to be
example.
like, dude, this must kill these companies. Now we know it doesn't kill them. That's part of their profit.
Yeah. They're banking on it.
Yeah. It's like, it's like, if they have it's like if they're charging you 2-3 times as much as they should. Well, now they're just charging you 4 because of Prop 22. And they're like, wait, we can make money off this.
They saw it as a business opportunity.
Right. And then they can
It is a
also,
good business.
exactly. Then they can say, we set these standards, you agreed to them. Most of you just don't hit 15 hours.
Yeah. You don't qualify. Sorry.
And it's not cross-platform either. So if you are multi-apping, you need to do 15 on one.
Right. You have to do
15 DoorDash
15 on
hours
each per each platform, correct?
to even qualify. If you do 10
Yeah.
on every platform, on
You
5
don't.
platforms, and work 50 hours, you get Zill.
Right.
Huh.
But they got 50 times $1 to $1.75 on everything you did, or during that 50 hours. Like if you did 100 deliveries, they got 100 transactions of Prop 22 money from you, but they didn't
Yeah.
pay you a dime. I don't know.
So it seems like they are trying to get people to do like a single app, but I don't, or is that they're the best way that makes them money?
I don't know. It's like the Instacart being profitable for the first time ever because of advertising. Where'd that come from? Like I was reading it too. That like last year they did have a profit. It was like 4 million, but this year was like 600 million because of advertising. Like what? Like I'm like
That's
I
some
would,
numbers for
maybe
you.
Uber's going to come out and be like, "Hey man, we made like $1 billion off Prop 22." It's like, wait, you're not supposed to be making money off that.
Start bringing out their numbers.
If anything, it was supposed to teach them a lesson, kind of thing. Like, you treat your workers bad, pay them this difference. And they're like, dude, this is sweet. We're making money on this. Like, I don't know. Guys, I've had a wicked bad cough. I don't know what else I had. What else I had? The EU thing was weird. They're going through what we're going through. It's called the EU gig worker law. If it goes into place, Uber has said that it will be a minimum 40% price hike across the board on everything, food and rideshare.
Wow.
So there goes the amount of drivers needed. And then the other thing too was that we're starting to see subsidized states. I guess that's the only other thing I really had, which that really worries me. I don't know, maybe other people don't read into that as much, but that really worries me a lot because like Saranac Lake, they're kind of like parking their public transportation and they're paying for half of all Ubers and Lyfts. Like between 10 and 10 or something. I don't know. It's like, really, like, this is where to me, I feel like that's what I'm talking about. It's not dissing. It's just like, really, like so Snap, EBT, half price rides, like what's going on? And the city's subsidizing. What?
Well, it sounds like that's going to be their way to make money is, basically government subsidies, which is the government's always going to be a cash flow.
But then, that's exactly what I was thinking too, John. But then shouldn't we, I don't want to be total negative here, but in that case that you just said, wouldn't you then be concerned that things will not, and I'm not trying to be negative, will not get better for drivers? Ever?
I mean, I kind of think we're there now. Because I mean, what is the path towards better from where we're at now? I guess that would be the better question.
I mean, it's, there's going to be legislation. I would rather see where it keeps us IC and just allows us our rights, but including like kind of how the Colorado bill was, maybe tweaked out better or whatnot. But, show me full transparency, show line items to the customers. Even I care about that side of it. Let them know so that they tip better. Let them see how bad this company's ripping them off. The right to appeal deactivations, and getting rid of acceptance rate. Like not saying it doesn't matter, removing it from the app so you don't even see it.
So I think that'll be the way things get better for drivers. It'll be from a non-financial perspective in the sense that they're not going to raise base pay or anything like that, but they may give more transparency. They may provide more information to customers. That'll be the way things probably get better.
And to me, that would be better because I've always said that if you, like I am with Curry, and Curry doesn't have AR, but like if you show me something and it's got every detail in it and it sucks, I can't look at your business. You can price it out how you want. I'm just not going to take it. Don't punish me for not taking it. So if that happens, I don't, if you want to charge a penny to every Uber customer to go anywhere in Denver and you want to offer me a half a penny to take them, I just won't be taking any rides on your platform. But at least you're being honest. If you want to run your company into the ground, you have every right to do so.
Yeah.
Would there be potential? Would this be a potential, I guess, positive side from a driver perspective? If all of a sudden, they give people who have Snap EBT more, I guess, resources to get rides with, but the same number of drivers are still out there. would that cause more things to surge? And then potentially that's the way people get paid more because now there's more work and there's more demand, but the supply
Right.
is low. So just basic economics.
Yeah.
Is
I
that a
mean,
possibility?
to me, you know, with transparency, if they ever get to a point of saying how we were saying that the one thing that could benefit is transparency, why not just kind of put into it things that Gary's apps and things offer, you know what I mean? Like just put filters in there. I don't take rides for less than this. I don't and
Yeah.
in that case, if you're being transparent, just don't even send me the ones that don't meet those. Don't even show them to me. You know, I mean, maybe I'd never see an offer. Maybe everybody else has their threshold at half my price. But
Well, isn't that like that one app somebody was saying that where you basically I think it was Nova was saying that you set your own prices and is it in or was that somewhere in the East Coast?
Dumpling, you do that for one.
But it's for rideshare, or it was like in
Oh
a
yeah,
certain
yeah, yeah,
area.
yeah, yeah. Yep. I remember now. Yeah. He was doing a different rideshare company. It was just in DC or something.
Yeah. See,
Or
that
maybe
seems
it was
like
a
that would
couple
be
cities.
another yeah, that'd be that's a better model, I think, too. I mean, well, I wonder what's stopping that company. Well, obviously, we know what's stopping that company from growing is Uber and Lyft and those companies throwing lots of money at people not finding out that those companies exist as options.
I think that's it right there. Rides.
Rides, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think that should be the future.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. Steve again. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I'm out of it. But yeah, that's I've been digging into all this stuff and it's kind of depressing. So when you know when you guys are thinking about like, damn, if base pay goes down, don't worry about that stuff. There's way bigger problems.
Empower, or is that it? Maybe.
Oh, maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that was in VADC. I think that has to be it because that was a DC thing.
Okay. Yeah, Scrabble, that's rideshare. If that's rideshare, that's probably it.
Well, yeah, I like that. Oh, I would. I'm not a rideshare driver, but I'd more consider doing a rideshare because of that, knowing that I'm not gonna have to take a mystery from
You'd
point
have
A to
to
who knows where.
You'd have to be working with some straight up people though. Like you'd have to cuz it they'd have to get to a straight point like, okay, charge whatever you want. We take 10%. They'd have to get to a static amount they take.
Well, I think they said that the way the company makes the money is you have to pay you pay a fee to be on their platform, and then you have like what did he say? I don't know if it was like a number of hours or a number of rides or something, but you pay that fee, and
Yeah.
then that's how the company makes money. Then from there, you're just your own contractor.
See, I would even think, dude, just set a threshold. Just say, like in the beginning with Uber, it was 15, 85 to me. Just say, fine, we're going to take 15%. Let me price myself out at what I want. Therefore, you're wanting me to price high
Yeah.
and you're still wanting to
It
help
should be a
me.
free market.
Yeah. If I have a nice car and I'm doing ride share and you're like, damn, he's got himself priced pretty high and you're with Uber, you're still going to want to get me out there because I'm going to make you the most.
All right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, part of me thinks if you were the highest price too, you're not going to get any. But if they did something
You're
static
going to
where it
be
was a
competitive with it's
percentage,
going to be depending on what other people are pricing because people are going to price reasonably enough to cover their expenses and whatnot. And
because they did try that in LA for like a month, I remember, and I remember people were doing the race to the bottom, and I guess that would be my only thing is how do you not trigger that?
so the funny thing is, there is there's two types of people. There are people that when they see a low price, they go for it. There's people that when they see a low price, they get super suspicious and they're like, "Nah, you get what you pay for."
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so I think there's going to be people that go for the low price. There's going to be people that go for the mid price, and there's of course the people that won't be in anything less than a electrified, you know, symbol Lexus, Mercedes, whatever.
yeah,
Uh, I think it'll work itself out.
yeah. I mean, like, look at cabbies used to have a system where they were dispatched, but I mean, I'm sure maybe not, but I'm sure some people in the chat or whatnot, like somebody's taken a ride with cab where they didn't hit the fare back in the day or something. and they're just like, yeah, $20, get in. Like they used to have a way of working things. This was pre GPS and, like, or GPS all the time kind of things. And so, I mean, like they had a way of like scamming that. So not calling it scamming, but like a way of like setting, at least for
kind of like what
rideshare.
the Uber drivers do in Vegas. It's like, hey, you want to, I'll give you $20 and you just cancel the ride. I'll take you there.
Yeah. I mean, and half of those people don't even work for Uber. They just have the sticker.
Yeah.
They're just like trying to do.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
So
like, I don't have my app on right now, but I can drive you anywhere you want. That just sounds like the shadiest business ever.
So you guys, what we tried to do tonight, and it'll happen next week. And hopefully Gary will be back next week, but we want to stream to all the channels because I did it with Holly this week on hers, and it helped us bring some people over to her channel for Dumpling, and we were saying it that way. But I just want to get as many people in here as we can. Like, and tonight's been a little slower, but I mean, like, we do get a great crowd in here, but why shouldn't it be a lot more? And why shouldn't it be on all the channels? Even if you're a guest, let you do it too. Like, everybody should be doing it. It doesn't work for every show I do. Like, I couldn't do it for Last Mile. I couldn't do it for my podcast, but for this one, it works. So we're trying it. I don't know. I'll have to play with it a little more. But yeah, I'm losing my voice, you guys, and I don't know. I think that's it for the week. And I don't even know what else I'm doing other than like 13 minutes because I got some other things I got to get on top of. But what do you guys got going on? Kim, what do you got going on?
I have a video hopefully going out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, just busy work. I'm just really busy working regular gig work. Especially this weekend, we have the tropical storm is kind of coming up the East Coast, so it'll probably be a tropical depression by the time it gets up here. But we have a lot of rain coming this weekend. But other than that, Wednesday, money hungry. Thursday, I'm back here and rinse and
I gotta admit, I had never watched even one of his videos. Your driver, Mike. I mean, no, it's not a bad thing. Yeah, I just never had, and it's no bad. Literally, guys, I don't know the guy. There's no bad there at all. But I watched the whole thing yesterday, and I was like, this guy's pretty cool. Like, I was like, why? I've never watched him before, but
it was a lot of fun talking with him and picking his brain. And
he was definitely different than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, very knowledgeable, very personable. So yeah, I think it was a really good show yesterday. We covered it was a jam-packed show yesterday. We covered a lot in the hour and 10 minutes that we were on. So definitely go check it out because it was definitely worth checking out. Because it was funny because he's all like, usually I've never been on the opposite end of StreamYard. It's weird being on this side of StreamYard. So it was fun.
So yeah, I guess that's what I was getting at. I don't know if he does anything with anyone.
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't know.
See much of him doing on anybody else's stuff. Yeah, now that you mention it.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I don't know. I thought he was interesting. I thought he totally fit in well and meshed with you guys. And
yeah,
there was a time Zach went to you with a question. And then afterwards, he was moving on to the next, and Mike just kind of stepped in. He was like, "This is when I knew I liked the guy." Because he stepped in. He's like, "Well, can I answer it too?"
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, go for it. But I will say this because I forgot to do a shout out last night. I'll do it now, and he's probably not watching. Maybe he'll watch the replay. But Sergio and Chris on Tuesday are doing the interview with David Reicher from Richard. I said that right, from Lyft. So that is huge for the channel. So if you guys aren't doing anything, it's next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, if I got the times right. But it's definitely especially Sergio interviewing him. I think it'll be a really good show. So definitely tune in for that. So I forgot to plug it yesterday. So there you go, Sergio.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Make sure we plugged it on the Para thing too. Do make sure, even if you don't do rideshare, make sure to watch that one.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's going to be really good info for a lot of people. So,
I do know I was texting with Harry today because and it's not something I do that often, but then I was texting with Sergio because I was like, there's a podcast movement in March. And so I texted with Harry and I was like, when is Herbivore? Because this thing was like the 26th through the 29th of March in LA.
yeah.
And so he's like, it's the 29th. And I was like, oh, that really works out well. And then I told Sergio and he's like, wait, Harry hasn't even told me the day. He's like, that's my birthday.
Oh, no.
And so I was like, this will be cool, man. Like, so yeah.
I would love to go to
that's-
Herbivore. I
right,
think
dude.
it would be a really
Yeah, so
fun
Herbivore
time.
this year is Sergio's birthday too.
Aw.
So that might have to be a thing. I don't know. But yeah, that said, you guys, John, what, before we get out of here, what do you got going on?
Just shipped the video. Not shipped. Oh, I haven't done shipped in a while. Spark videos. Spark. I think that's
Was
watching Chris write about shipped in the chat, and I got shipped on my brain. But no,
Was
Spark
the-
videos.
Was the Spark video I watched with Hannibal yesterday from before?
No,
with
that
you
was
guys?
that was a new discussion. Yeah, that's
Okay.
a brand new video.
Okay, so Hannibal finally went to doing interviews without crowd. I like that. Because
Yeah.
when it came out as a it wasn't live, right? It was a premiere.
Right.
Right. So I
wasn't
mean
live, no.
that's Hannibal usually doesn't do those. You usually do it that way. He's always been a live guy. But I saw it and I was
he's
like,
been
oh,
in
this is
a-
cool. And then I was like, it'll be 8 minutes like a Hannibal video, and it was like 30, and I was like, oh, okay, this is like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So
It was a great conversation. A lot of fun topics. A lot of insightful discussion. Definitely
Yeah.
recommend everybody check it out.
and next week, guys, we'll have we're gonna have seats filled. Whether I don't even know who they'll be. But yeah.
We have a Hunger Games lottery for the seats. We'll see
Yeah,
who
I don't
survivors
know.
are.
I've been wanting to do another game show one too.
Oh, that's right up my
That'll be
alley.
fun too.
You guys are all going down.
I want to find a way to let the audience get in on it though, because every time we've done those, they've been fun. I want to go back to the one that I did with Lou and Mary, because that one you guys don't know about as much because you weren't there. So because that one was interesting too. There were the games I was doing were really like, I had like this I'll just tell you one thing. I had this change thing. I didn't do that with you guys, did I?
No.
So I had this it's like a change bucket where you push it all in the top. And I knew exactly how much it was. And I just kept turning it slowly like this. And I was like, how much is in here? Closest one. and like everybody, all the teams got one vote, and it was like, it was like 46-81. But you had to just watch me turning it and how many quarters were in there and nickels and how deep was it. And you could say Lou and Mary were like, hold it straight. And I was like, and they're like, okay, it's that big. It's that. Okay. It's like probably like $50. I don't know, but some kind of game, maybe a game show, maybe like if we have 9, what's that game show? Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood Squares. I think
Hollywood Squares
we
is
had some
nice.
idea of something like that. Yeah.
I
Okay,
love
so
Hollywood
you know what,
Squares.
guys? Next week I'm shooting for a game show, which means we need some people like Gigan. If you want to come on, Traveler, Miko, you know what? You guys just email me, steve@ridesharerodeo.com. If you'd want to come on a game show, we're gonna need like 9 people. So,
Can I
don't
be
know.
the middle square?
Sure. I need to watch one though, because I don't even remember what
Really?
that game show is. Like, I don't remember how it goes.
You need 2 contestants though, and then 9 squares.
2 contestants and
I'm gonna have to watch a
'cause
YouTube video about Hollywood Squares.
would there be a way
Just
to
to remember all
do
the rules.
like the maybe it's the million now, but the $100,000 pyramid? You remember that one?
Yeah, you would need 4 people for that.
Right, but would there be a way for the 2 people to do that? Those rounds where like one's like trying to tell you what it is.
Well, you would have to if you would have all of our numbers, you would just text us
I hear you,
kind of like
Giga.
the password type of thing.
Okay.
But we would have. I don't see. You would need what you need. Like 10. Is it 10 words that you have to describe? 7. It's 7. 7. Magic number
Yeah.
7. It's
Yeah.
7 words you have to describe.
Yeah.
So I guess you would. I don't know how you would do that because you have to have like one after another after another.
Well, I mean, if it was
Or we
paired
could do the
up people,
pyramid.
though, like if you and John were a pair, you could be reading to him.
But I know. But usually you get a word, and like I would have to tell John like clues on what the word is, but then it goes to the next word. Like I don't know how it would get to the next word. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right. That's
That's what
where I
you're
could
saying, yeah.
text you.
Yeah.
I could text you a word, have the next word ready as soon as you guys get it. Send.
Yeah.
Put the next word in,
Yeah.
and then because if you also can say pass.
Yeah.
And then go to the next word, so I could just have 7 words ready.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll do a game show. Maybe you guys can win $50. Maybe that'll fill up a quarter of your gas tank. I don't know. But we'll do
Nowadays.
some kind of game show. I don't even care if it's something like the last time. I
Yeah,
mean, it won't be
I'm
like
good
it
at
won't be the
trivia.
last times, but we got creative. There was a couple little hiccups, but I can get creative.
As long
We can
as we
find a
don't
way to
wear
get it
ugly
done.
sweaters again.
No, this is just gonna be like who's a true who's the best. And we know Kim's like extremely competitive, so everybody's gonna have to bring their A game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'll figure it out. I maybe I just need to think of more game shows too.
Hmm.
Because when I did it with Lou and Mary and a couple other people, the Drivens, it was supposed to be like supermarket sweep a bit. Like it was like I'd show like even like a peanut butter can, and I'd be like, okay, and then I'd take it away and I'd be like, how many calories did that have? So they weren't even looking for the thing that they were like, okay, size, or what's he gonna ask, or how much is it, or you know what I mean? But then I'd be like, okay, how many fat grams did the whole thing have? Like, so, and it'll say it on the front. So it's like, you got to take it in. It was just weird things, but I was trying to make up like my own supermarket sweep. So maybe
I
we
think
can make it gig oriented too. Like,
I think the last time you tried to do Jeopardy, but somehow it didn't end up being like Jeopardy.
yeah, it did. Yeah, it was Jeopardy.
Okay.
Was it not?
We did
No,
we did
'cause
we did a Jeopardy.
Yeah, because I had like
But then we were saying what is, and then everybody would just say the name. I'm like, there goes Jeopardy.
All right, I gotta go. I'll have to go back because I thought that worked. I'll figure it out though. We'll have a good game show one, and we'll get some other. And
We
I'll
could
make
do
sure
name that
that
tune. Oh no, we can't. It's live. Damn. Sorry.
yeah, that's a
Copyright infringement.
I don't know if it is though. To be honest, if you don't monetize the stream, I mean, it's only a couple. Yeah, it'd be a risk, but it's only a
Yeah,
couple songs that really rings it. The rest just say you can't monetize it.
Yeah, that's why I named that tune.
So, but we'll do something. We'll do I don't even know. What's the whammy game? Is that possible?
No, unless you have a digital ties of whammy that can go on the screen.
Price is Right.
So, well, anyway, you guys, we'll figure something out because if you missed the last time, it was really fun.
It was a lot of fun. I had fun.
So, yeah, so maybe we just need a night of fun, and maybe I'll somehow make it gig oriented. Maybe like we'll have a section of like, would you take this? And we'll have
What
some
if
like
we did like a whole night of like funny stuff? Like
Yeah.
not gig news, like just find like the funniest like memes, the funniest gifs, like gig related, like literally just like put them all up on the screen and just have like a good old laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, because times have been crazy. So it'd be like a good little reset for all of us. So
Mhm.
we'll get some people on
Craziest
here. We'll make
order
it
we've
fun.
ever taken, like stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'll find a way to blend a few games together or something. Wheel of Fortune, is that possible?
How are you gonna do a wheel?
We have the giveaway wheel. Is there a way to use it?
That's a hashtag. You just do a hashtag.
Or if you don't do any hashtag, you can click a box that says don't use hashtags and it'll do everybody in chat.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to like assign money to people. Like Gagan's worth 1,000. Like,
Oh, really?
because you'd have to know what they're worth if you spun. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But regardless, and Rick, Rick, if you want, you've never been on this show or any show for what I know.
I think Rick would be awesome to have.
I
on
think
here.
I would love it, Rick. If you want to come on next week, you are totally invited. So, if you want to come on here and play some gig games, it'll be like the Olympics, and it'll just be like wacky, But there will be points, and there will be losers, and there will be winners. But we'll keep it fun, like last time. Last time I got accused of a bunch of stuff, and I thought I did pretty good. But somebody was like, "You didn't do that to Kim," and wait, why'd Kim's answer fly then if this doesn't?
Because it was right.
But I feel like I was just kind of learning. I wasn't trying to cheat or like, like just trying to get through the damn thing. So, but it was fun, and I think we all need a breath of fun. I don't know. I've been working my butt off. I've been tired all the time. Everybody in the world is sick around me. I don't know if you guys are facing that too, but everybody in Denver is sick.
No. Mm-hmm.
Not even your area?
No.
That's weird. Most people I know are like their areas are getting hit with it big right now.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, that said, you guys, that's it. I felt like this was low key. Next week's not going to be low key. It's going to be screaming. I'm going to have some loud shirt on. Not the one, but like
not the classic.
Maybe the classic. I don't know. That one's really it's still hot here. John, you probably know this. Like I thought it was cooling off. John, even though John's in Arizona and you'd think it's a lot hotter, we're pretty close in temperature. And I thought it was cooling off for a minute, but it's still pretty damn hot. I don't think I could be in that shirt because that thing doesn't breathe at all.
Oh, then nah.
It was winter last time, but yeah. Oh, Rick's in. We got a game. Rick's in. Okay, now I'm basing the whole thing around Rick. So Rick, okay, you can't miss it. So everybody, thank you. We will be back with a big game next week, and you can all be involved. We're gonna have a way. It's gonna be so interactive. Bring your friends. Bring your relatives. Bring everybody. And we'll see you back here next week. Later, guys.